Today, when they show you Africa, they show you hunger, they show you thirst. Children chasing water like it's gold, villages buried in dust, wires hanging over broken homes, nations in debt, people in despair. But what if I told you Africa was not always like this? Not so long ago, Africa was a land of power, of gold, of scholars, of kings. This is not just history. This is the truth they never wanted you to know. Imagine a continent where empires stretch farther than Rome, where kings ruled over lands rich in gold, ivory, spices, and wisdom. This was Africa. In Timbuktu, libraries held thousands of books. Centuries before Europe had printing presses. The Mali Empire, under Mansa Musa, was so wealthy that his pilgrimage caused inflation in other countries. Great Zimbabwe rose with stone towers, cities carved without mortar, still standing today. In Benin, craftsmen sculpted bronze with precision unmatched in Europe. In Aksum, Christianity thrived peacefully beside ancient African beliefs. People lived in peace. Trade routes crossed deserts. Scholars taught astronomy and medicine. And faith, whether Islamic, Christian, or traditional, was respected. There were no borders, no divisions, just nations thriving in harmony. But then, the ships came, with flags, with maps, with greed. They didn't come to learn, they came to take. They carved Africa like a piece of meat. In 1884 in Berlin, without a single African voice, the continent was divided by Europe. France took one piece, Britain another. Belgium claimed the heart. Lines were drawn through tribes, through rivers, through lives. They enslaved, they stole, they burned. They turned kings into prisoners, scholars into slaves, wealth into blood. This is how the chaos began, not from inside Africa, but from outside it. They taught us to fight each other. They turned tribe against tribe. They forced countries to be created that were never meant to exist. They told you Africa was discovered. Wrong. It is the birthplace of humans. They told you Africans came from somewhere else. Wrong. We came from Africa. They told you Africans were always poor. Wrong. Africa was the richest land on earth. They told you Africans had no faith. Wrong. Islam and Christianity existed in Africa before Europe was even Christian. They told you Africa is naturally violent. Wrong. The first wars came with guns, borders, and lies. So why is Africa struggling today? Why the drought? Why the debt? Why the corruption, the conflict, the hunger, the chaos? This is not because of Africans. This is because of the foreigners who came, divided it, bled it dry, and left. But the story doesn't end here. Africa is rising with the same wisdom, the same courage, the same gold, the same fire. A new generation is waking up, calling for unity, for dignity, for power. And this time, Africa will not be divided. They broke Africa apart, but they could never break its soul. United Africa, one people, one future, one truth. The rise begins now, and it will become United States of Africa.